The resurrection factor, evidence for the resurrection, section 1. There is nothing more exciting than the study of the resurrection. It is one of the most reliable facts in history. There is more proof for the resurrection than proving that George Washington existed. The prophecies in the Old Testament for his life number above 300. The most exciting part is that Jesus of Nazareth fulfilled every one of these prophecies. Essentially, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ makes or breaks the Christian faith. Without Jesus' resurrection, there is no Christianity. Fortunately, the proof for this event is lavish. The study will give anyone assurance in their faith. It is also a good tool to utilize in showing unbelievers and doubters. A journey into the evidence. Since the ascension, the enemies of Christ have assaulted the fact of the resurrection. They claim that it is irrational, superstitious, and absurd. Many have chosen to ignore the issue of the resurrection. Their main goal? To explain it away. Fortunately, the historical evidence just can't be ignored. Essentially, this is the very core of Christianity. What is the fact that makes or breaks our Christian belief? The existence, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. How can the empty tomb be explained? Could it be explained by natural causes? This study is a journey into the overwhelming evidence for the resurrection. This should bring a doubting believer or unbeliever into a decision for salvation. A question of historical evidence. When you study the evidence for the resurrection, you can only come to one of two conclusions. Jesus Christ's death and resurrection is either one of the most wicked, vicious, heartless hoaxes ever foisted on the minds of human beings, or it is a most remarkable fact of history. Facts relevant to the resurrection. Number 1. Jesus of Nazareth was a Jewish prophet. He claimed to be the Christ, at one with the Father. Number 2. He pointed out the Old Testament prophecies that described him and his present mission. Number 3, he submitted to being arrested and judged a political criminal. Number 4, he was crucified and buried in a new grave. Number 5, 3 days later he rose from the grave. Number 6, 2 Marys went out on Sunday and discovered the empty tomb. Number 7, Jesus appeared before his disciples and up to 500 saints at one time. Number 8, after 40 days, he ascended into heaven. What were the results of this sequence of events? The New Testament church was created from this sequence of events. The church was started on the day of Pentecost. The gospel was spread throughout the known world. Essentially, Jesus' gospel has greatly affected humanity throughout the centuries. Living witnesses, both friendly and hostile. The New Testament accounts of the resurrection were being circulated in written form. This happened within the lifetimes of men and women who were alive at the time of the resurrection. Those groups could certainly have confirmed or denied the accuracy of such accounts. The facts concerning the writing of the Gospels. The writers of the 4 Gospels were witnesses, or they related the accounts of eyewitnesses. What did the apostles utilize in contending for the gospel? Number 1, they appealed to the common knowledge concerning the facts of the resurrection. Number 2, they showed the prophecies in the Old Testament that described all of the events of the gospel message. What part did the hostile witnesses have? Any departure from facts would have been immediately dealt with. Fact, they were enemies of the gospel. They were looking for any discrepancies. Yet, none were truly found. Essentially, they wanted to destroy the Christian faith. An amazing and gratifying study. Since this fact can make or break the Christian faith, it is of utmost importance to clarify these facts. All of Christianity should have confidence in what they believe. This confidence should increase their desire to share this amazing gospel with others. The place of Jesus' death and resurrection is the center of time in God's plans. Next, the reliability of the New Testament background facts relevant to the resurrection. If you want to study in more depth, I have included URLs to a PDF and the desktop phone graphic studies that I put on Facebook. Let God's Word show you His truth.